What's happening, you guys? This is Coach Joel, and this is the Icon Fitness Podcast. If you're listening in, welcome. If you're a first-time listener, we have plenty of other episodes that you can check out. This is episode 16, first one of the new year, 2021. If you missed episode 15, talking about moving into the new year with the right type of structure, head on back, listen to episode 15. I'd stop listening right now. Go to episode 15, then come back to episode 16. Unless you are in dire need of communication, then I want you to stay right here, right now. If you are joining us live on the Icon Blueprint Facebook page, welcome. And I hope that you're ready to get down on some communication. If you haven't joined the Icon Blueprint Facebook page yet, head on over Facebook, type in the Icon Blueprint Facebook. Well, no, just the Icon Blueprint Facebook. Not Facebook. Joel, stop it. The Icon Blueprint on Facebook. How about that? Anybody who's joining live, if you have any questions when it comes to communication, toss it in the comment box. I can see it. Technology, it's crazy, right? Anybody that's joining on Instagram, welcome as well. So, I hope everyone is doing well. 2021, we are in and ready to rock and roll. And what we're going to start off with this year, very beginning, is communication. Now, you wouldn't think that communication is that big of a deal, except it's obviously a massive, massive deal. Communication is actually, if you're asking me, everything. Take a look at just this past year on all the different types of channels of communication when it has come to news being delivered and what your friends heard and what your cousin or uncle or aunt heard and the emotions that it struck up. And also the communication you started having with yourself. So we receive communication, and then we're going to give ourselves communication. And if we're not saying the right things, man, starts there. So let's get into this. If you guys don't know, my background in college was as a speech communications major. And when it came to that degree, there was a ton of stuff that I learned: how to present, how to speak, how to talk, tone, pitch, all the great things, right, when it comes to presenting. But I wasn't taught how to be able to see my own communication and also how I'm speaking to others. And that's what we're going to cover today. So let's dive right into it. We got a couple different parts that we're going to be talking about today. Let's dive into part 1, Communication 101. What is communication? What is it? And I'm going to give you the definition that I got from the University of Nevada, and it's stuck with me ever since. Communication is shared meaning between a sender and a receiver. Let me say it again. Communication is shared meaning between a sender and a receiver. So what does that look like? What it looks like is this. This is one of my best examples. I am telling you that this is an orange sweatshirt. If you're watching right now, you know that this is not an orange sweatshirt, right? If you're listening right now, it's gray. But if I was talking to somebody and I said, "Oh yeah, my orange sweatshirt," I'm saying something. I'm the sender. I'm saying that, "Oh, this is my orange sweatshirt." The receiver is looking at my sweatshirt and going, "No, man, that's definitely gray." And I'm going, no, this is orange. No, that's gray. So there's sending and there's receiving, but there isn't a shared meaning. We aren't going, "Oh, this is the color of the sweatshirt." So this is what happens. I take the sweatshirt off, right? I'm hanging out with that person. It could be, say, my spouse, right? It's my wife. And I say to her, "Honey, will you go get my orange sweatshirt? I left it on the chair inside." Well, she goes in thinking, where's that gray sweatshirt? And she walks past it 100 times. She gets frustrated, comes out. I'm frustrated because I'm like, what is taking her so long? Finally comes out. She's mad. I'm mad. Where's my sweatshirt? You don't have a sweatshirt in there. The reason that happened is because there was no shared meaning. We didn't walk away from the communication earlier and say, oh, is this a gray sweatshirt? That is a gray sweatshirt. That is what I see. This is what you see? Yes. Awesome. We're on the same page. Now that's a very easy entry level example when it comes to communication. But I'm going to give you, this is worth your admission right now. This episode right now, you could stop after you hear this and you're going to get your money's worth. This is a technique that I learned from my therapist. This is not me, but from my therapist. And the technique is, when I speak to you, I'm the sender, and I'm sending something to you. That receiver should use this sentence. Joel, what I heard you say was, and repeat exactly what you thought you heard. Okay? Again, I say something. Hey, this is an orange sweatshirt. What the receiver will say is, Joel, what I'm hearing you say is that the sweatshirt you have on, you believe for it to be orange. Is that correct? Yes. What I see is gray. Is that sweatshirt not gray? Wait, no, this is orange. Until we have the ability to say, oh, you know what? I got my orange glasses on. You're right, it is gray. Nice. Now we have a shared meaning. It's gray. And by using that simple technique, what I heard you say was, reflect back to them. What did you hear? Not trying to say what they said, but what you are hearing. What I heard you say was, you are upset because I left the dishes in the sink. If that's not what I'm feeling, I can go, now the opportunity, the sender has sent it back to me, I'm the receiver. No, it's not about the dishes being in the sink. It's about the dishes not going into the dishwasher. Oh, so what I'm hearing you say is that you would like me to always put my dishes into the dishwasher. Is that what you're saying? That is what I'm saying. I can respect that, and I appreciate you bringing that to me. Boom. You guys, if you have communication issues, you just solved it. Okay, use this on your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, best friend, or any other person that you are struggling with communications. Why? Because it always puts the ball back in their court. What I'm hearing you say is, you're having them take ownership of their words. And if it's not right, they have now the opportunity to reflect back to you. You see how that works? Isn't that amazing? So that is the definition of communication. And that is, you could stop it. You could leave right now. Anybody watching on the Icon Blueprint page, right? You could be like, man, I win. But we got more. Because that's communication with each other. But what about communication with ourself? Communication with ourself is also known as self-talk, or our personal dialogue. Now, some of you may be thinking to yourself right now, do I talk to myself? Do you get what I'm doing right now? You're literally talking to yourself. Okay? We all talk to ourselves. What we're saying to ourselves is extremely, extremely important. Why does it matter? Listen to me, and listen to me carefully. Your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions. Your actions become your habits, and your habits become your legacy. You got that? It starts with the way you think to be able to get where you want to be. Everyone who wants the best job, the best husband or wife or life, it starts with the way you present to yourself, because you are your best champion. You are your best cheerleader. No one else can do it for you. And if you are constantly seeking for someone else to tell you, hey, good job, bud, attaboy, or attagirl, you're trying to fill a void. And when they don't give it to you, how do you feel? Do you get angry, bitter, frustrated because they didn't give it to you? Because that only has to do with you. So if that is you, you are always seeking approval from your husband, from your wife, from your friends around you, your supervisor. Pump the brakes. Recognize that it starts with you. You have such poor self-talk, or you may have poor self-talk, which is pushing you down, and you need other people to lift you back up. But you just keep in a constant cycle. Some people are going to say great things, and then you're going to come back down, and then you're going to feel all lonely, and you're going to pout, and you're going to wah, right? And your friends who care about you are going to be like, oh man, blah 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 is pouting and whining again. I got to tell them how great they are. And then you stand back up, and you're all tall again. You're like, yes, I am that person. I can do that because someone else said it. Nope. Starts with you. So if this is you, or that sounds like you, keep paying attention, because we're going to roll into a couple of examples. I'm going to give you examples of language that is used. So these are sentences, and these sentences are coming from my homeboys over at I Am Alpha Hippie, Marcus Gurzy and Angelo Cisco. If you are a man and you want to dive deep into language, hit those guys up. Start following them on Instagram right now. But these examples are examples that you probably hear quite often, that you probably say. Okay, so let's start off with it. I'm going to give you, let me talk to you a little. I'm going to give you the example, and then we're going to correct it. Okay, this is the 101. I'm going to give you the example, we're going to correct it. I have to watch my kids tonight. Do you? Do you have to? This is a number one trick play in our minds and in our words. I have to. Do you? Do you really have to? Because there's plenty of parents out there who don't watch their kids because they don't have to. You choose to, also known as I get to. So let's take a look at that again, and let's switch it around. I get to watch my kids tonight. Pretty good, right? I get to. Now we're expressing gratitude. I get to watch my kids tonight. But we can amp it up even more. I get to watch my kids tonight because I love seeing them. Wow, that's a whole lot different than I have to watch my kids tonight. I get to watch my kids tonight because I love them so much. Do you see the difference? Change your have tos to get tos. I get to go to work. There's a lot of people out there that don't have a job. I get to go work out. A lot of people can't afford a gym membership. Change your have tos to get tos, even if it doesn't feel right at first. Okay? Just like being out of shape. It's not like all of a sudden you're going to start being able to run a 6-minute mile. First time you go for a run in 2 years, it's going to feel miserable. And then it's going to get better. And then you're going to feel really strong, and you're going to look strong, and you're going to be fit. Same thing with our communication. That's why we're here. Communication 101. Next. Oh man, this one is a killer for me. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good? Well, what are you? Are you good or are you not good? See, we want to stay in this gray area all the time. And I guarantee you probably have already done it today. Somebody's asked you, or you've talked to somebody. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah, I think I. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You have to, first and foremost, know how you're feeling. When you ignore whether you feel fantastic or you feel lousy, there's no way to change it or to celebrate it. So instead of saying, I'm pretty good, say, I'm good. I'm good. Huh. Notice when you say that to people, they're going to go, oh, wow, tell me more. Why? Because cooler talk at the office is always like, meh, meh. You come home to your wife, you come home to your husband. How was work? Yeah, it's all right. Meh. No. Instead, claim your sentence, slow down first, recognize how you feel, and if you need to make a pivot and a change, I'm feeling lousy, but I'm about to be with my kids. I had a hard day, but it's getting better right now. That puts power into you instead of you becoming powerless. You become powerless when you put those type of words, pretty, all right, kinda, sorta. You just want to stay in the safe space instead of committing to, I am great, I'm fantastic, or I'm hurting today. There's vulnerability over here, right? And if you go over here, people think like, oh, well, wow, aren't you just, you're just the greatest. You're just always so happy. But gosh darn it, you guys, if you're feeling great, I'm great. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. So think about that. The next time somebody asks you, and probably somebody's going to ask you today, check in with the way that you feel and then say exactly, no fluff, no long sentences. I am good. I am sad. I'm strong. I am. These are the affirmations that you start living when you grab that word and you put it into your heart. Boom. Let's move on to the next one. This one. Ooh. This one. This always happens to me. This always happens to me. Always? All the time. Every day. You know what always happens to you? Your heart beats. Okay? You know what always happens to you? You keep breathing. Beyond that, always, this is a binary word or binary language where we're connecting ourselves to something that isn't true. You aren't always, oh, this always happens to me every time. Or if you're using it with another person, gosh, you love this. Want to piss off your spouse, your friends? You're always late. You always do this. Whew. You might as well take out the white glove and slap it across their face. You might as well take out the white glove and pop, 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 pop. I mean, that is just, you're spitting on their shoes. You are always late, are they? Every single time. Every single time. And I know some of you guys are thinking out there, yeah, he's always late. Yeah, she's always late. No, she's not. No, he's not. There's been time. It might have been 1 out of 100, but that would automatically take away always. Get it? So how do we switch this from this always happens to me? This always happens to me. Every time I'm in the gym, this always happens to me. Somebody takes my bar, right? Every time I try to work through that new PR or every time, this always happens to me. I never hit my PRs. Try this. This happens to me often. Now we become exploratory. This happens to me often. You get the opportunity to go, wait, why is this happening to me often? And if you listened in to a podcast on the Eyes Up mindset, we talked about the 5 whys. If you're not listening to these guys, the Eyes Up mindset podcast, man, these dudes are stellar. But we talked about the 5 whys where we are able to get down to the root of the problem. But changing it to, this happens to me often. That is a different language than this always happens to me. See how defenseless that is? Instead of standing up and says, this happens to me often. Now you're in control. Now you're in power. Instead of the opposite way. Now let's talk about the relationship. You're always late. Gosh, you're always late. Every time we try to get out the door, you're always late. Let's try this. I have noticed in the past 3 weeks that you've been 5 minutes behind schedule. Have you seen that? Boom, you passed it on to them. Now they have control. And you've been very specific on it. You're always late. At what? Where? When? What I've noticed in the past 3 weeks, 2 days, last year, is that you tend to be 5 to 10 minutes behind. Why do you think that is? Now you've given them the opportunity to do the same thing you did when you said, this happens to me often. We get into curious mode. We put our lab coat on, right? Scientists don't judge the results. They record it. And that's what we want to do. Record the freaking results. That way we don't attach any type of judgment to it, and we're open for change. So the next time that you want to say to somebody else, you always blank to blank, pause. What I have noticed, whatever it is, in the past, in these different times, be specific. That way they can notice it. Because what they might perceive as always isn't what you're talking about at all. Okay? Boom. All right, let's get into a little more language. I got a couple more examples for you, and we're going to tie this off. This is for all those 2021 resolutioners, okay? Out there, about 2021, ready to get in shape. I love this sentence. I love it, meaning that you shouldn't use it, but people use it quite often. I want to be in better shape. You want to be in better shape? You see how many different areas that you can escape in that sentence? I want to be in better shape. Try this. I will be in better shape. Okay. Not shabby, right? I will be in better shape in 2021. Oh, wow. Now you're starting to paint a picture for me. You will be in better shape in 2021. I will be in better shape in 2021 because I care about my health, or because I don't want to get sick in 2021, or because I want to be an example to my kids. I will be in better shape in 2021 because I will. You see what I did there? I caught myself. Because I will be a better example for my children this year. Boom. I want to be in better shape? Sure. Right? I want to grow 6 inches. Okay? I want $1 million in my bank account. I ain't going to get us anywhere. We're just hoping and wishing. But when you start changing your wants to wills, no, I will. Oh. Now you done it. Now you put yourself in there. Now, right? I will. So let's loop it around. Let's do another one. Okay, so now you've committed. I will work out in 2021 because I will be a better example for my children. Man, that's strong. I like it. Okay, so now we got the power, and then we can totally sabotage it by this sentence right here. I'll work out 3 times this week. I will work out. Oh, no, excuse me. I think I can work out 3 times this week. Sorry, I stepped ahead. I think I can work out 3 times this week. Ugh, you got all kinds of excuses. You woke up late. Not today, because I think, right? And I got to the end of the week. It was a hard week, So, but next week, I think I can get 3 days this week for sure. Let's try it again. What if you said, I will work out 3 times this week? Again, change the want to a will. All of a sudden feels different. Now, how about this? I will work out this week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Just like we did with the sentence before, we added a little bit of texture, something we can grab onto. It wasn't just, I want to be in better shape. We said when and why we want to be in better shape, and we will. So now we move it to, I will work out this week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Pretty good, right? You're thinking, okay, yeah, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I got it, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. What time? Because you know, and you've been there before, where all of a sudden, you're like, I'm going to work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And you're like, oh, I missed my morning, but I'll get it at noon. Oh, I missed noon. I'll get it in the evening. You get to the evening, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Next week. Instead, try this sentence. I will work out at 7 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because I will be in better shape in 2021 because I will be a better example for my children. What? We just went from I think I can do it. I think. You again, when you say I think, I kinda, pretty, sorta, you're giving yourself an out. You're better than that. You're a king, you're a queen, you're a champion. Stand up and act like one. And it starts with being able to say, I will, because I am. I will, because I am. Boom. Communication 101, you guys. So if you've been listening through this, you know the importance now of communication. We have a couple different things to be able to work on. First is being able to understand the shared meaning between the sender and the receiver. Being able to use the reflection technique of what I heard you say is. Then being able to recognize your self-talk. Remember, thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become habits, and habits become your legacy. You want a better life? Start thinking about it. Starting to change I have to's to I get to. I get to puts gratitude into that sentence. Then we get powerful. Instead of I want to, I will. I will. I am. I will become. Think about this and be able to apply it this week. Start today. Somebody is going to ask you how you're feeling. Tell them straight up. You're going to communicate with somebody. Use the reflection technique. If you don't take immediate action, guys, you just listened to a podcast, you felt good, you went, wow, that's some good stuff, but you never applied it. Do it now. If you're ready to change your life, and I mean that in literally every facet, your mindset, your nutrition, your lifestyle, and your health, I have a program for you. It's called the 12-week icon. I have one more person that I'm taking for the month. I only take on a very small number each month because I work with you week by week. We work on stuff like what we talked today, our mindset, our language, our nutrition, our lifestyle, and we start crafting a game plan to the life that you've always wanted to live. If this is something that interests you, head on over www.iconfitness.com. Book your clarity call today. Again, make an action and move to it. I have one more spot for the month of January. That's it. And when it's gone, it's gone. We can set you up for February if that's the case. But take action now. Take action now. Whether you sign up right? Or book a call for a clarity call, or you use what I told you today. Do it. You won't regret it. You will feel better. And this is what it's all about. Empowering yourself by your words and your actions. And it starts with your thoughts. There it is. You guys, I am putting together an all-star cast that I will be having on the show. People from all across the United States, some professional coaches who are incredibly good at what they do. And you're not going to want to miss it. I will be letting you know in the Icon Blueprint Facebook page who's coming on and what the schedule is looking like in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be hot. All right, that is it for today's show. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to me, joel@iconfitness.com. Reach out, www.iconfitness.com, to book that clarity call if you're ready to make that drastic change. I love you guys. Let's start off 2021 with a bang, and let's get to it. Remember, communicate.